Hello, all, and welcome back to a new episode of Movies and Us, a weekly gathering place filled with conversations about movies, stories, and connection. My name is Jennifer Hahn.
And I'm Sarah Callan.
And today we are doing, honestly, one of my favorite episodes that we do every year. I think this has been a tradition that we've done for, like 6-7 years now from the beginning of the pod, right?
Yeah, I think 2018 maybe? I don't know. I'm going to have to go back and look and see when we started this.
Never knew a time before this, you know?
Honestly, though.
Some people do New Year's resolutions. Some people do like journal entries, writing a letter to their future self as they look back on the year and look ahead to the new year. We here on Movies and Us do our top 10 list of films watched that we have seen in this past year here in the year 2025. So very excited to dive into this episode. This is a fun tradition and I'm always curious to see what's on your list, what's new, what's things that we've reviewed, and like where things land, because I have theories every year, but it always looks a little different.
Yes. Yeah, I'm very curious about this year because I feel like some years our lists are kind of similar and then some years they're very, very different. I think this year they're going to be quite different from each other. And I think that is exciting because I always have my phone out and I'm like, okay, what do I have to add to my watch list that I haven't seen yet?
Yeah. And we've reviewed a lot this year too. So It's been a packed year. So I guess before we start our reveals of top films that we've watched from the past year, which quick note and clarification is it's films we've seen in the past year, not necessarily 2025 releases, which really widens and expands the possibilities of things that can show up on our list, which is really fun. But yeah, I guess looking at your list and looking at the year of films that came out this year and some of the kind of movie watching choices that you made, thoughts, reflections on what you gravitated towards, what really resonated with you this past year in 2025?
Yeah, I think this is a really interesting year. Most of the films on my top 10 list are international films, which makes my heart so happy. And that has been something that I've been trying to like do more of in my movie watching, is just to get out of just US based films. And so the past couple of years, I feel like I've been more successful in that. And there's always some really, really great international films. So it's always just fun to like highlight those and talk about those that maybe have flown under people's radar. I think another interesting thing about my list this year that I don't think has happened before, I might be wrong, but I have the same director twice on my top 10 list, which I don't think I've done before. So that is interesting to kind of think about. And then, of course, I have a million honorable mentions because of who I am as a person and my inability to make decisions.
This is true.
It's really
every
hard.
year I brace myself for, okay, Sarah, what's your honorable mentions? Okay, so I have 15, but I will only share 5 because I see that we are limited on time, I guess.
I only have 7 honorable mentions this year.
Wow.
So like improvement, maybe?
Look at that. You're just trying to share the love, okay?
You know, there's just so many good movies that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
What about you? What kind of reflections on your list and just the movies that you watched this year?
Yeah. This was kind of unintentional actually, but it was a realization I was having while making my list and what stood out to me to put on the list and that I just felt like had to be here, that really moved me this year. And I think a lot of the films on my list are quite internal films that are smaller in scope. Some of them are very contemplative, some of them are very like cerebral, just very much more internal versus big splashy action driven films, which has been different from previous years. And it's been fascinating to look back on the year as a whole and just how much has happened in my life in the past year, moving cities, a lot of life changes, a lot of like upheaval in many areas of my overall life that I think I was just gravitating towards or really finding a lot of resonance in these smaller films that were more deeply slow and internal than a big splashy like romp. So I think that was fascinating to look at. I was looking at this list and I'm like, oh, these are all like a lot of them quieter, more internal, more contemplative, slower, very just internal is the word that I kept coming up
Mm,
when I was looking at these
mhm.
films. So I think that's a fascinating thing to look at, like the type of art we gravitate towards and how that was kind of a contrast to the rest of the chaos I was having in my life this year. That I just wanted something deeply moving and rich and full in my movie watching this year that really, I don't know, just kind of hit closer to home for me this year, the films that are on this list.
Oh, I loved that. That's so fun. But
Yeah,
my question
kind of
is, do
interesting.
you still have one, like, action blockbuster? Because that's usually on your list. You have the, like, Mission Impossible movie on your
I do.
on your list. You usually have one that is, action-driven, chaotic. Do you have that this year? Or is
I
it
have I
mostly
have
okay.
one that is a film that I think will be no surprise, but is one that it fills. I always have one film on my list that's like the I just had a most incredible time with the movies, and this has to be on my list. And
Excellent.
I have one of those.
I'm glad even in your, like, evolved, contemplative, quiet year, you still have that, like, blockbuster popcorn movie. Have
Hmm.
to have it, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So let's dive in, shall we? Let's start with number 10. What is your number 10 pick for your top 10 list of this year?
Yes. The other thing that I want to
Oh, yes,
share
yes.
is just kind of, like, how we made our lists.
Mhm.
Because like, we're talking about, our top films watched in 2025, and that's very,
Yeah.
like, subjective. Um, so for me, I tend to, like, weight movies that I saw earlier in the year rather than later in the year. Because if it's
Yeah.
December and I'm still thinking about a movie that I watched in January, that is going to be more impactful and going to have to be higher on my list. And so for
Yeah.
me, the way I kind of interpreted, like, top films are the ones that have really, like, stayed with me and I kind of haven't been able to stop thinking about. And different ones, like, I've been thinking about, like, different aspects of the film, but that's kind of where I've landed, is
Yeah.
just what have I not been able to, like, let go of throughout the year. Um, so that's kind of my definition for the top 10. That's kind of how I made mine. Any specifics about, like, how you constructed your
Mm.
list or kind of how you're defining top films?
Yeah. Well, one clarifying question for you out of curiosity is, do you find that there are more films from the beginning of the year again this year as well? Because you often look at that like length of time of staying power as being important to how you assess, gosh, this film really stuck with me because it's been months. So something that you watched in like at the end of November doesn't have as much of the runway for that. Do you find that that's still a pattern for your list this year? A lot of early in the year picks.
Yeah, I think this year it's more evenly distributed, than it has been in years past.
Yeah.
There's a chunk that I watched in the first 4 months or so, then there's, like, a few films that I watched kind of in the middle of the year, and then there are a couple, that I just watched, like, a month ago, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of obsessed with. So, I feel like in past years, it's been more of that I've
Mm.
I guess I, like, front loaded those years of, like, really, really great movies and then just kind
Yeah.
of kept, thinking about them throughout the year. This year, I think it was a little more evenly distributed throughout the year for whatever
Mm.
reason, but,
Mm.
those ones that I watched at the beginning of the year are higher than the ones that I watched, a month ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So kind of consistent overall, but maybe a little bit more holistic that you're looking at
Mhm.
the full gamut of the year.
Yeah.
The staying power isn't a fascinating dimension that you index on quite heavily. Yeah. Uh Mine is probably like a version of that. I find that in previous years, I've had a lot more picks on my list that have just been like, gosh, I just really appreciate this film, even though it might not have like deeply resonated personally for me. I think there's so much from a like technical or a filmmaking perspective that I want to celebrate this film with. And I found this year my list is just way more vibes, I think. With my picks, there were just as I was scrolling through my letterboxd, there were films that I was like, gosh, that movie really changed or moved me in a significant way that I just have to go with. I have to go with that this year. So there's a lot more films that I just found myself either opening up my perspectives and changing the way that I thought about things, people, the world around us, human nature, myself. And I went with a lot more of those picks than I think in previous years that were maybe a little bit more head. So I went with more of my heart this year, I would say, probably.
Yes, go with your
Yeah.
heart. It's your
Yes.
list. Do what you want. That's great.
Yeah. Uh, okay. Shall we?
Let's do it.
Grand reveal begins. Okay. Your number 10 pick on your list.
Okay, so this was the hardest one for me to pick. This is the movie. So the movie that I've selected is probably too low on my list, but I didn't know where else to put it. So it's
Okay.
here. I think this is the one that if I look back at my list next year, I might regret either not bumping one of my honorable mentions up or
Oh,
putting this too low on the list. So I feel really good
aging.
about the rest of my list. This is my one that I'm like, "Ugh,
Oh,
I don't know."
okay.
But this is the choice that I have made. I have made a decision. And my number 10 film that I watched in 2025 is No Other Choice. And
I haven't seen this yet, but it is so high on my list to
yes,
watch. Ugh.
I'm so excited for you to watch this movie. I'm really hoping that it's just nominated for a million things and then we'll review it on the podcast because we need to talk about this film.
Yeah,
There
it's
is
hard to
so
find where
much
to watch this.
to it. It is a dark comedy. It is absolutely hilarious, but it's also technically brilliant. The
Mm.
editing in this is just out of this world. And the precision in the cinematography, the shots, the transitions, it is just a fantastic movie to watch and something beautiful to look at. So this is a fantastic film. I had such a great time with it, and I can't wait for us to hopefully talk about it
Yeah.
as we get ready for the Oscars. But yeah, if you haven't seen No Other Choice, I would highly recommend checking it out.
Okay. So I'm curious, like, why was this film so difficult to figure out, like, what to do with, you know?
It is such a good movie. For me, it's like 15 minutes too long. And if it was just a little bit shorter in length, it would be higher on my list. So I felt
Okay.
conflicted about putting it at number 10 because it is so well done and like
Yeah.
there are certain filmmaking things that happen in it that I was like blown away by. But it's just slightly too long for me, and so that's why I put it at number 10, which
Oh,
might be a
okay.
little harsh for this film.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to like rewatch it before we recorded this. So I'm curious upon rewatch if I would still put it at number 10 or if I would
Mm,
bump it up the list. So I don't
okay.
know. That was the one that I struggled with.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some parts that like it's a blended experience for you. Things you
Mhm.
loved and things you're like, could be a little bit different. So it's floating up and down. I just see this film like going up in the list and going down,
I
and you're just like,
know.
what do I do with
Ugh, but it is
this?
so good. Like
Mhm.
everyone needs to go watch this movie. It's so much fun.
Nice, nice. I'm really excited to watch this. I People have been loving it. It's on your list.
Mhm.
I am so curious about this film. Black comedies always, when well done, really, really incredible. And this director, my gosh,
Mhm.
he's done this. He's proven himself in this area. So
Yes.
Park Chan Wook, can't wait to see what he does next.
Yep.
All right. My number 10 film on my list. of films that I watched this year is a 2025 release. It's Honeyjoon.
Yes.
This is directed by Lillian T. Morel. It's an incredible story that's done humor really well around grief and loss in life. I I find I don't typically have comedies on my list because they are so specific and tonally need to be precise in order for it to just like hit home for me. And this one does. This film is incredibly funny, but also deeply emotional at the same time. And its use of mixing tones from moment to moment is really impressive and something I don't often see in films done well. And so Honeyjoon, yeah, it's an incredible mother-daughter story, a family drama, but also a comedy as well. So Honeyjoon's my number 10 pick.
This is such a great pick. We reviewed Honeyjoon a little while back. We got to talk to Lillian too about her filmmaking process, and that was incredible. But it's such a great movie that shows the like complexities of life and how
Yeah.
emotions are all often mixed together and you're feeling joy and sorrow at the same time, and that's just part of life. And you're right, Honeyjoon just nails all of those comedic moments. It's so well written, it's so well done. Ugh, such a great choice.
Mhm. Yes. Okay, we're starting off strong.
We
Your
are.
number 9 pick. Sorry, your number 9 pick. What is your choice?
Yes, my number 9 film that I watched in 2025 is It Was Just an Accident. This is another international film. It's filmed in kind of this like guerrilla filmmaking style. It is a very bonkers story. You go on quite a journey with these characters. And I was
Yeah.
having a good time with this until the last like 20 minutes of this film. And the
Oh,
last like 20-ish minutes took my breath away. It is absolutely incredible. Just the performances throughout the film are great, but in those last 20 minutes or so, I was blown away. And
mhm,
I feel like I hadn't seen an acting performance like that this year. It's so
mhm,
grounded, it's so emotional, it hits you right in the gut. The way that it's filmed is so intentional to really highlight and showcase the acting that's being done at just such an incredible level. So it's a great movie. I'm so glad that it's getting so much buzz and like awards conversations,
yeah.
because it is a wild ride to go on, but there's also just an emotional core at the center of it that I think works really well, and it leaves you with a lot to think about too. So
Mhm.
if you haven't seen It Was Just an Accident, figure out a way to go watch it because it's well worth your time.
I'm so glad this is on your list. This is on my to watch list, very high as well. Lots of buzz about this film from the
Mhm.
past year. So, gosh, I'm excited to see this. It sounds like gearing up for that last 20-minute final act is good. It's going to be exciting. So, uh, we'll see. I hope that this continues to get more energy traction. Just kind of more diverse stories too being told and celebrated. So very exciting. Okay, it was just an accident. Moving it higher, even higher on my list of films to watch.
Mhm. It's a good time.
Mhm. Okay, my number 9 pick for films that I watched this past year is a Thai film called How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies. It's a story about a grandson and his relationship with his grandmother and all of the complicated family dynamics amongst the grandson's mother and the rest of the family and all of the other siblings as well. Just a really understated story about like the ways that Asian families show love and care, but also have a lot of complicated dynamics with inheritance and the ways that families can often in the years and months leading to eventual death in a family, just a lot of personality dynamics come out. And this film is lighthearted at the beginning, and then it kind of takes a turn, and there's a lot of other tonal shifts that happen along the way. But this film just reflected so many real life dynamics that I've like personally experienced and also seen and heard about in my family as well, and in family friends. So just it was really exciting to see that on the screen, and to see the way that it nails so many like unspoken subtle details in how Asian families can relate to each other sometimes. And this is a Thai film. It's not, I am not Thai, but gosh, there's so much that was quite resonant with this film. And I'm very close with my grandmother as well. And so seeing this relationship unfold in this way and mirror real life was really powerful and really exciting to see. So how to make millions before grandma dies.
I think you've talked about this film before, and it is on my to watch list. I still haven't gotten around to it, but this makes me want to go watch it even more because it sounds like such a just such a good like window into this other culture and like how other people live while also being a really entertaining film to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Number 8 pick. What is your choice for this one?
So my number 8 pick of my number 8 film that I watched in 2025 is City of God. And we watched this as part of our 2003 prep for the Revisionist Almanac.
Yeah.
And this film is just so immersive. I was blown away by how I felt like I was there with these characters in this slum, just like navigating everyday life. The way that it's filmed created such like anxiety in me as I was watching it, and I think that that's just such a testament to the cinematography and the filmmaking. The performances are absolutely fantastic, and honestly, even though I was so stressed while watching this, I could have watched so much more of this film. I was immersed in this world and I needed to know what happened to these characters and these people. I was so deeply invested in them over the course of a movie. So just shout out to City of God. That I think everything is firing on all cylinders in that film, and I had a blast watching it.
Yeah, this is a great pick. It's a tough watch, but it is oddly incredibly funny in some parts while also being so heartbreaking in other moments. And it's all just thrown together with this incredible genius editing style. So yeah, I was so grateful that we got to be collabing with Andrew on Revisionist Almanac to get to watch this film because I'd seen it before this year. And I love that it's your number 8 pick on your list. This is a great
Mhm.
one.
Yeah.
Fernand Morales.
Oh,
So good.
so good. Yeah, I had never seen it either, and I probably wouldn't have if it weren't for Andrew's show. So, so much fun. All right, what is your number 8 pick?
My number 8 pick is from 1974. You might have a guess what it is. It's The Conversation. This is Francis Ford Coppola with Gene Hackman. It's an incredibly cerebral psychological thriller. It's so suspenseful while not leaning heavily into having to show high action. And I don't know. I think like the filmmaking components are all working together so beautifully. It's a deep character study at the same time for this character that is unknowable from the beginning to end as we peel back the layers of him. This film I think expanded and opened my mind up to the ways that like all of the components of filmmaking coming together perfectly can result in the magic that is something like The Conversation. So I just had never seen a film that is as precise and as intentionally designed in all aspects as this film is, and was just very impressed by that. So this is my gosh, I love this for what this means for the medium of film this year, and deep appreciation and expanding horizons for like, man, this is what it's like when everything is working perfectly together.
Oh, this is such a great pick. I love this. I love this movie. And the way that they're able to build suspense through just the sound editing. I was
Yeah.
just blown away by, because it's labeled as like a thriller, but you don't get the car chases and the explosions and all of
Mhm.
that. But it is so thrilling to watch. Such an incredible film.
So good. So good. Okay. Number 7. What's your number 7 pick as we march up our list?
Yes, my number 7 pick is the 1963 Akira Kurosawa film High
Okay.
and Low. Uh, Jen is probably so sick of me talking about this movie.
Hop off.
Um, it's so good.
Gosh.
I love detective stories. I love mysteries. I love solving puzzles. I love all of it. And High and Low centers around a boy being kidnapped, and so then the police are called in to try and solve the mystery. And what shocked me about this film is that it's basically a tale of two halves. And at about the halfway point, the entire film shifts. And like you don't even see the protagonist anymore in the second half. Like he comes up a couple of times, but he is not the center of the film anymore. So just like structurally, the movie is just unlike anything that I had seen before, cuz who structures a movie like that? But it works. It's so good. And then the blocking in this is out of this world. I don't know how they managed to do this, but the way that the characters kind of orbit each other and do this dance with the camera is absolutely incredible, and it all feels natural. And so for this film, that came out in 1963, to be so engaging to watch as a mystery. Like I watch a lot of mysteries, I watch a lot of detective dramas, and I was still invested in like the cops investigation process, and it looks great. And this was
Yeah.
released in 1963. I was blown away by this film. I have not been able to shut up about it all year. It is such a good time. So if you've not seen High and Low, it's highly entertaining. I very much recommend it. Go check it out.
This film has rocked your
It
world
really
this
has.
year, and so I know it somewhere on your list,
Yes,
and so pleased that it is number 7. This has you written all over
it
it.
does. It does. It's a very me movie.
Yes, yes, indeed. Great pick. I haven't seen this yet, but excited to watch it now that you've gushed about it for 2025. I'm
Too
like,
much.
this needs to go higher on my list. Okay. My number 7 pick for films that I watched this past year in 2025 is Train Dreams. This is directed by Clint Bentley, who wrote Sing Sing, and it's an incredibly slow, internal, meditative film. This is a Netflix film, but it is not a Netflix film that you can be distracted in because it's so slow and melancholic. It's also an incredibly like small scoped film. There's not a lot of plot. It's really following a single man as he lives his lifetime and all of the little encounters along the way. And I just found this film to be so intimate, without needing to do a lot of the big action driven, plot driven, story driven stuff. But the cinematography and the score really add to the poetic nature of this film. So I was really thinking about Train Dreams in comparison to After Sun, and I remember absolutely adoring After Sun and describing that film like visual poetry. And I think that Train Dreams is like that as well. It is incredibly slow and poetic, and there's so much that's unspoken and unsaid, but there's a lot of emotional weight behind a story that is quite simple. So, Train Dreams was really quite incredible, and I can't wait to just like revisit this film again.
Yeah, this is a great pick. The cinematography in Train Dreams is gorgeous, and just a lot of those shots of just like being in nature, watching the sunrise, all of those. It's breathtaking to watch, and all of those visuals that you're just feasting on
Mhm.
throughout the entire film. It's a good pick.
All right, number 6. what is your number 6 pick for this year?
Yes, so my number 6 film that I watched in 2025 is Sentimental Value. Uh
This is so high on my list. I don't know. I can't find where to watch this film yet, so it's gonna
Yes,
it's gonna have to
it's
happen soon.
yeah.
Your number
Oh,
6 pick.
it's so good. I was just engrossed in these characters. It is
Oh,
a much smaller story, and this relationship between a father and daughter, between these two
mm.
sisters, is just really powerful. And I was just sucked into the story. I wanted to know more about these people. I was loving just spending time with them and just doing life with them. And then the growth that the characters experience kind of throughout the film, and all the highs and lows that they go on, they all just felt so real and natural and just so deeply human. And I don't know, man, this film just absolutely worked for me. I loved it. I'm sure it will be nominated for stuff, so I'm really looking forward to reviewing this with you. But yeah, I loved Sentimental Value. It got me.
I am so pleased it lives up to its hype and is your number 6 pick. That is quite high on your list. And gosh, it's so good to know that all of the rave reviews you also share, and this film moved you in a meaningful way. So can't wait to watch this, and I'm sure it'll be in our Oscars conversation in some capacity. So we'll get to talk more about it soon. Love it. Okay, my number 6 pick is a film that we watched back in the early part of the year. It is Sing Sing. This is directed by Greg Quidar. Coleman Domingo gives a transcendent performance, truly, in this film. But I think what really shines about this film is how they've cast actors from the Rehabilitation Through the Arts program that this film features the story of, and gives those men the opportunity to showcase their acting talent. And so, just the mission of this film on screen but off the screen as well, in its creation process, and in how it looks to create new opportunities for talent in the industry and give them a platform to showcase what they can do. I think it's really incredible. It's a very moving story, an incredibly human story, and will just like thaw your heart while also moving you in every way, and thinking about just the healing power of art as well, which is something that we talk a lot about in our episodes as we talk about film and TV all the time. But to see these men live that out is quite it's quite incredible. So, Sing Sing is a beautiful, beautiful film.
Oh, it really is a beautiful film. Like it will break your heart and then make it grow 3 sizes at the same time. Like it's a beautifully like shot film. Like it
Hmm.
I think is beautiful to watch, but then the story behind it, learning more about the production and the way that they are honoring these men, honoring their stories, I think is so valuable and just beautiful. Oh, this is such a good pick. It's such a good movie.
So good. So good. Okay. We are getting to the second top half of our list. We're making it about halfway through right now. So, your number 5 pick, Sarah, for your list.
Yes, so the number 5 movie that I watched in 2025. This is another one that we did as prep for the Revisionist Almanac, and it is
Oh.
another film by Park Chan Wook, and it is Oldboy.
Oh.
Had never seen Oldboy before. It is quite the experience, and I loved it. I'm still thinking about that hallway hammer scene and how in the world did they do that? Like I've watched like behind the scenes stuff where Park Chan Wook is talking about how they did it, and I'm so blown away by just the technical achievement that that film is and how it's put together. It is so immersive. It is absolutely bonkers. I watched it like on a Saturday morning, and it just like blew my mind all day. And I was like, how do you do anything else after watching Oldboy? And I'm still thinking about it all of these months later, and I understand why. I get it now. I get why this is so beloved, because it is quite the achievement. It is a wild story, but holy cow, it is beautifully done.
Yeah, I need to like breathe thinking about that movie because it
It's
is it is
wild.
not for the faint of heart,
No.
but it is so artistic
Yeah.
and has so much to say. So Old Boy is an incredible pick. This film is deranged in the best possible way
Yes.
and pushes the boundaries of what we think and expect from this medium and from these themes, and it just is bold enough to go there. So you will not be the same after
No.
watching Old Boy.
Nope. But it's so good.
Oh, oh man. Yeah, this is a great pick. This is a great pick. So this is your two films from the same
Mhm.
director. Yeah.
Yep.
Very good. Look at that.
Yes.
I don't think we've had that happen
I don't think so
in any
either.
other year.
So,
Yeah.
all
So well
right.
done.
It's fun after
A
doing this
first.
for so many years to still have some firsts
Have a
happen.
new thing. Yeah. Okay. My number five pick is a film that I absolutely adore. I had the most fun time and also was so impressed at its ability to weave in so many themes. We saw it together at the Seattle International Film Festival. This is DJ Ahmet. Uh gosh, I don't know. This film is it's actually on the surface like quite a simple story about one small family living in North Macedonia and in a small rural close-knit conservative village, but I was impressed at how deeply emotional this film is while also being incredibly funny. And through its humor, it's actually communicating a lot of ideas around the technology gaps and divides between generations, about advocacy through art in especially conservative, close knit, single minded communities. It's about grief. It's about the power of music. There's so much baked into this film, and you don't really realize it when it's happening until you think more about it because you're having an incredible time going on this journey with this family. So I really root for this film because I think that the masses will really buy into DJ Ahmet and move them, and it's palatable while also giving us so much meat. So I hope more people will see DJ Ahmet, but this one just is like near and dear to my heart. I just every aspect of it is like so perfectly timed, and I find that a lot of films that I love so deeply I don't know if they'll land well with lots of people, but I would easily recommend DJ Ahmad to like anyone. So there's just a rare blend of a film that is like that. So DJ Ahmad, my number five pick.
This is such a good choice. I knew it would be on your list. Spoiler, it's not on mine. It's in my honorable mentions because I knew you would talk about it. But yeah, this film is absolutely incredible. I still think about when we watched it, the theater is packed, which was really cool to experience.
Yeah.
And there's like a pivotal moment where this like character makes this choice and makes a really, really bold choice. And the entire theater just like erupted and was like applauding and cheering because like we felt
Yes.
like we were there with that character as they were going through that. And so for DJ Ahmet to create this immersive experience where we are sucked into this story and we feel like we are in North Macedonia with all of these characters, I think is such a testament to the filmmaking, the writing, the performances, everything, like you said, just like coming together to create, what really does feel like a little miracle in movie form. So yeah, this is a great film. Everybody
Yes.
should go watch it.
Yes. It's an amazing time, a feel good story while also giving you a lot to think about. And yeah, getting to watch this in a packed house in Seattle at the Seattle International Film Festival, to laugh together with the audience, to celebrate and root for our characters with the audience, to cry together with the audience was also just quite a magical experience as well. So, I'm at number five. Okay, what is your number four pick on your list?
Okay, so my number 4 pick, that I watched in 2025 is Small Things Like These. Um,
Ooh.
yeah, this film is not for everybody. Let me just get that out of the way. It is very slow, it is very contemplative, there's not a lot of action, there's not even a lot of dialogue. It's a lot of just, like, still shots with just, like, actors emoting. Cillian Murphy gives a great performance. It's all like internal too, so
Mm,
it's a lot of him just feeling things in frame.
yeah.
And it's a very, very beautiful film while also shining light on a very difficult and traumatic thing that happened in Ireland. And
Mm,
so it was something that I've read about before, but it was different to like experience it through this character's eyes and see as he's grappling with his story, but seeing how this thing is continuing to happen and affect people around him too. And there's this like moral kind of push and pull that he goes on throughout the film. So I was hooked instantly. This totally worked for me from start to finish. Not everybody will connect with this because it is very slow. It is very still. It
yeah.
is very quiet. But if you're into that, this is quite a ride. And honestly, it's kind of haunted me all throughout the year. So in a good way, but still, I've been haunted by by this story.
Wow, this is a stacked cast too, like some incredible acting power and sounds like a deeply slow internal cerebral film as well. A slow burn. It sounds like I haven't seen this yet, but I'm intrigued.
Yep, it'll get you in the feels if you're willing to let it.
It'll haunt you apparently as well.
It
So
will, but it's not for everybody, and I very much acknowledge that. So you have to be in the mood for a very like slow, still, quiet film, and
mm,
then might be worth it.
hmm, yeah, so good. Okay, my number 4 pick of films that I've watched this past year in 2025 is also a film that has haunted me. It's one that we actually reviewed recently, and it started off as a joke, but actually this film is just really quite incredible, and I haven't stopped thinking about. It's The Hunt. Thomas Vinterberg, starring Mads Mikkelsen, Thomas Bo Larsen. I I expected to like appreciate this film. I love what Thomas Vinterberg does in his films, and we reviewed this uh, to be released on Christmas because we have this whole bit where The Hunt is a Christmas movie. Um, this film, I think, is incredibly wise, and it's understanding of the best parts of human nature and the worst. And I think that there's so much from just the past few years that I've been like thinking a lot about in terms of like how groupthink can be really toxic and alluring, and the best of us and the best of intentions are not immune to the ways that like mass mentality can really move us into these really extreme points of views or kind of completely turn our backs on those that we seem to care about. And The Hunt is able to pinpoint those dynamics with this razor sharp clarity and an emotional depth that I was astounded by. So I've thought about The Hunt so much in the weeks that we've watched this, and I can't wait to re-experience this again. I think the ending of this film is so essential to the thesis of this movie and is I don't know. I think this is an incredibly wise film, which I don't usually use to describe films, but The Hunt, Thomas Vinterberg understands every part of what makes us as humans the best and the worst. So it's all in The Hunt.
This is such a fantastic pick. It's such a good movie. Oh my gosh. And it is a Christmas movie, as we determined in our review. But yeah, it is so human. It is so raw. Mads gives a great performance because, like, when does he not? But it's so tense and stressful. And I was concerned the entire time. And it's just through humans acting like humans. and that's it. And this is, man, this is a film that will make you think for sure. There's so much to grapple with and wrestle with, not just while you're watching, but after it's over. This is a whole feast, and it's contained in one film. Ugh,
Yeah.
it's a great pick. Such a good movie. It's a hard movie to watch, but holy cow, it's worth it.
It's so good. Ugh, The Hunt. It is I don't know if you should watch this during Christmas, but it is a Christmas
It
movie.
is a
Go
Christmas
listen to our
movie.
episode with Britt. Thank you, and shout out to Britt too
Yes.
for recommending this and giving us a very silly excuse to watch The Hunt this year in the most warm, wonderful time of year. Okay, your number three pick. We're now on like the podium. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? This is we're bronze medalist of the year of films that
Absolutely.
you've watched. What is your number three pick?
Okay, so my bronze medal winning number 3 pick film that I watched in 2025 is Sinners. It had to be in the list. I am obsessed with this movie. Sorry, Jen, that I've talked about it so much throughout the year, but this movie rocks. This is my favorite movie that came out in 2025, and it is brilliant on a technical level. Watch like the cinematography, the editing, the sound design, the music, the way that this is written is fantastic. The performances are great. Like all of that is accurate, and there's so much meaning and depth there. And I feel like every time that I rewatch Sinners, I discover something new. I see something new that wasn't there. When I listen to other people talking about this movie, I learn something new and pick up on new things. So I think this is just such a treasure trove of a movie. And there's just always something new to enjoy, something new to discover. It is a just fantastic testament to Ryan Coogler and the entire team. They have created something truly special here that is also wildly entertaining and just a blast to watch. So I love this movie, and it's my number 3 pick.
I knew this would be on your list, and I'm
Yes.
so pleased that is number three. This film, yeah, is incredible. Its use and its playfulness within an established genre, I think, is quite impressive too. And this film is operating on all cylinders. So, gosh, yeah, I this came out, and we were like, "Is this the movie of the year?" And perhaps our thesis stands still strong. I can't wait to see the legacy of this film. I think it'll be very
Mhm.
exciting. So we'll see. But this great pick, number three slot on your list.
All right, but what is your number 3? Who gets the bronze medal for you?
My number three pick, the bronze medalist of this year of films that I've watched, is a film that I've talked about also a lot this year. So I'm sorry to everybody around me. It is Black Bag. Steven Soderbergh doing what Steven Soderbergh does best. An incredible cast as well, starring Kate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender in very them roles. But I think what I find most exciting and impressive about this film is how clever and witty and smart the dialogue is and the story writing. There's a lot here to love. It's a spy thriller. Who doesn't love a spy thriller? But I think what's most impressive is that it's able to nail all of the things we want in a spy thriller while also having a lot of commentary around marriage, loyalty, and trust in our relationships. And we see the ways that stands against all odds and also breaks against all odds in this film. So I was kind of shocked to see that this was more than just a spritzy spy thriller with some incredible acting star power, but there's a lot of meat here in this film as well. The dialogue is so funny and so fast paced and quippy. I just had such a thrill watching this in the theaters. It's an even 94 minutes, quick, efficient, smart filmmaking. And I just want more stuff like this. So, gosh, Black Bag had one of the best times that I've had at the movies all year seeing Black Bag. And gotta love this film.
This is such a good choice. This is in my honorable mentions because I knew it would be on your list. This movie is so much fun, and it is so smart. It's also so efficient. I remember sitting in the theater, and in the first like minute and a half. I knew who the players were. I knew what the mission was. I knew the time frame. The stakes were set in like a minute, minute and a half. And I was like, yes, I am here for this. This is efficient. This makes sense. We don't need 20 minutes of exposition. We can go immediately into our mission. And then it just gets better from there. This
Mhm.
is such a fantastic film. Ugh, I want to watch it all over again. Like it's that fun. You just want to revisit it and hang out with these really competent while being really interesting spies. Like it's a
Mhm.
great time.
Yes. Yes. It's so fun. Just fund more smart filmmaking, please. Great stories, great dialogue, great acting talent. The cinematography is also really sumptuous as well. The lighting design in this film is really interesting. So go watch Buck Back. Okay. Your number two pick, the runner up for this year.
Yes, my number two pick, my number two film that I watched in 2025, we have already talked about it, but we're going to talk about it again, and it is Sing Sing. I I just love this film for all the reasons that we already said. It is just brilliantly shot. It is brilliantly written. It really gets to the heart of like showcasing humanity and like caring for people's humanity even in the filmmaking process. And I just really love that, shining a light on mass incarceration, humanizing these people who are behind bars. They are still people even if they have committed crimes. And I love that emphasis on humanity all throughout this film and even into the filmmaking process and all of that. And then, of course, there's Coleman Domingo, who is incredible. I really think that he was robbed. He deserved the Oscar for this film. That is my soapbox that I will stand on. He is absolutely incredible in this, in the big acting that he does, but also in the smaller, subtle things that he's also doing in this film. That is absolutely incredible. So, Sing Sing. It's just such an incredible film. I think we watched it in like January or February, and I have not been able to stop thinking about it all year. So it's so incredible. Can't I cannot recommend it enough.
Mm, an incredible pick. Oh my gosh. This film really is so tender in its care. I think that's a great way that you described it. It's showcasing what it looks like to care for each other and through the big moments and through the hard moments, and also knowing exactly how to love in the way that that person needs. And there's so many incredible examples of that throughout this film. And gosh, Coleman Domingo is the shining beacon of light in this film. The emotional like depth with which he brings to every film, but especially this one, is shocking every time. And you just get lost in all that he is in this film. But also Clarence Macklin, who's like never done a feature performance before, is so vulnerable and so moving in this film. So, gosh, Sing Sing's such a gem.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
It's so good. Everyone go watch Sing Sing.
Yes.
You will cry. You will melt into a little weepy puddle, but it is so worth watching this film.
Yeah. So good. Okay, my number two pick of the year, the films that I've watched this past year in 2025, is Sinners. uh, I think this film has given me hope for film. Film as an industry, film as an art form that can capture the attention and the hearts and the minds of the masses. I think The Sinners as a standalone film obviously is incredible for all of the reasons that we've stated. The way that Ryan Coogler's playing within an established genre of a vampire film, giving us the blockbuster thrills that we want from an entertaining movie and a night at the theater. But also there's so much depth and nuance in the way that he's constructed the story and the character dynamics and the choices that they make throughout the film, that I think is so accurate and reflective of the real life dynamics that he's looking to bring to life. But I also just like am so captivated by the way that Sinners is able to be both incredibly artistic but also very strategic from like a business perspective. So from the casting choices to the theater releases to the ways that it's chosen to tell the story in this genre that is like a fun, spritzy, entertaining genre that people will show up for. I think Sinners proves to us all that we can have depth, complexity in the themes and the ideas of a film that are accurate and honoring to the dynamics it's looking to portray, and also be an incredibly fun time at the movies that people will want to show up for on a Friday, Saturday night with their friends and go and see multiple times again and have a fun time too. So it doesn't have to be this divide between the blockbuster films and these artsy fartsy films that have something to say. Like, I think Sinners is the thesis, the evidence that we can do it all when it's constructed with intentionality and with vision. So Sinners gives me hope for movie making and films and the industry and this art medium that we love so much. So I think Sinners has like restored something in my soul this year.
We love to see it, and I that's what Ryan Coogler has been doing his career, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Black Panther is the same way. He took the superhero movie structure, and it's a great superhero movie, it's so much fun, but there's so much depth there. Creed is the same way.
Yeah.
You know, it's a boxing movie, part of the Rocky franchise, and yet there's so much depth and meat there. So I think that this is, man, it's such a masterpiece. It's such an incredible film. For me, it is the film of 2025. And it's just, you know, that next step in an already really impressive body of work from Ryan Coogler, who has been proving over and over and over again that you can have style and substance together in one. We don't need to choose.
Yeah.
Everybody pay attention. Like, we don't
Mhm.
need to choose. We can have both, and we should have both. We
Yes.
shouldn't have to settle for one or the other. We can have both. Thank you, Ryan Coogler.
Thank you, Ryan Coogler. And how do we think about from a business perspective, the commerce side, but also the
Mhm.
artistic side and the human side of filmmaking to look at this model? It's incredibly strategic, it's incredibly smart, but he's got vision, which is also
Mhm.
essential to this as well. So gosh, oh, Sinners is so great. All right, your number one film of the year. Hit us with it.
Jen, do you already know what my number one film of
I
the year?
know what your number one film is.
Yes, I would hope that you would know, because I have not shut up about this film. So my number one film that I watched in 2025 is 12 Angry Men. This film came out in 1957. I watched it for the first time this year, and I feel like if you were to cook up in a lab a movie that is perfectly designed for Sarah, you would get 12 Angry Men out of that. This film is just incredible. It's 12 men trapped in a room talking for an hour and a half, and you don't feel that length. It is riveting watching
Mhm.
them turn this case over as they are deliberating, and watch them like read each other and try and convince each other, and there's so much tension in this film, and it's just men talking for an hour and a half, and I was hooked. This is an incredible film. It is absolutely thrilling in 2025, and I can't recommend it enough. So if you are like me and have not watched 12 Angry Men, I would like for you to go and watch 12 Angry Men. It's incredible. I'm obsessed. I'm sorry.
You're obsessed. I feel like I need to watch this film to understand the essence even further of you. Because I feel like I know you quite well, but I'm like, gosh, 12 Angry Men is like rocking her world in every lifetime, apparently, every multiverse
It's so good.
strand. This is Sarah Core, so I need to get up to speed on Sarah Core's newest, like, Infinity Stone that is essential to like
I
unlocking.
mean, you know how I love like movies that are just people talking,
Yep,
people only in one room. I love movies that are just like isolated to like one or two rooms. I don't know why I
Iowa.
love that, but I love that. It's about law and like a case, and you're discovering is the person guilty. So there's a little mystery in there too. There's the morality piece of it, which I find fascinating. Like
Yeah.
there's so much about this that is like coded to me. And it came out in 1957. It's fine. I love this movie so much.
You light up and glow,
I
and
do.
you become just like a squishy, squishy
I do.
ball when you talk about this movie. So I'm excited to watch this now. This needs to be high on the list.
Yeah, you'll watch it and be like, Sarah, you are crazy. Why are you obsessed with this film?
Or I will be like, "Oh my god, this makes so much sense." She this is yes. I feel like I'm talking to, like, you personified in a movie all of a sudden. Inside of your brain, really, just
Yeah, 12 Angry Men just deliberating inside of my brain. It's fine.
Yeah, you yeah, pretty much. So good. Um Okay, well, my number one pick of the top film that I watched in 2025 is Sorry Baby. This is directed by Ava Victor. I was put onto this film and it piqued my interest when our very own Movie Archer podcast network crew member, squad member Nico was raving about this film. And I was like, oh, I've heard about this, but like, let me look into it a little bit more. And I was shocked at how moving this film was, how tender this film is. It depicts the depth of female friendship in a really beautiful, meaningful, funny way. It's kind of Frances Ha-esque in some aspects in that nature, but it also showcases some very bad things that happen to our main character and does it with such emotional depth, but not leaning into melodrama. But everything that she is thinking and feeling is brimming beneath the surface, and the film is so tender in showcasing kind of the unglamorous and kind of subtle process of healing and processing through very difficult things, and has a really beautiful, moving thesis around what it means to love by listening and holding space for the hardest things in the people that you love most, and that being more than enough. And so I don't know. I think I have a film very close to the top of my list, or if not my number one film every year, that is a film that like changed me or moved me or transformed me in a meaningful way. And I think Sorry Baby did that for me this year. So this was a personal one. And I'm just so excited to see what Ava Victor does next, because gosh, there is clarity and vision and so much that she has to say. But Sorry Baby just moved me in really in many dimensions and kind of expanded my heart and my how I show up in the world in a really meaningful way. So Sorry Baby is my number one pick of this year.
Oh, I love this pick. I haven't yet watched Sorry Baby. I actually tried to watch it like a couple days ago, and it was not the day to watch this film. I put it on and I was like, this is not the vibe for today. I have to be in the mood for this. I'm not in the
You
mood for
do.
this. So I've been saving it for when I'm in the right headspace to watch this. But I'm so excited to watch it now that it's your number one pick. Oh my gosh. Yes, I have to see this now.
Yes, it is so good. Shout out and thank you to Nico
Mm-hmm.
for raving and gushing about this film,
Yeah.
because it definitely bumped it higher to my watch list. And I'm just so grateful I got to watch this movie this year and take it with me into the future. So, my number one pick. Wow. What a collection of movies we have
Yeah.
here. Well done to us all.
Yep.
Shout out to all of the filmmakers and creators that brought these films to life. This is quite a wide range of movies.
Mm-hmm.
Such
Yeah.
gems.
I think we only have two that are on both of our lists. We both
Yeah, I think
had
it's
Sing
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 and
and
Sinners.
Sinners. That's impressive. Yeah. All right. Well, there were an incredible group of 18 films between our collective lists. But lots of films that we also watched that we maybe want to give shout outs to. There's apparently 7 on your list. So
Yes.
let's do honorable mentions. What didn't quite make the list, but were, gosh, part of the agony of having to pick 10.
Okay, so I did have 7 on my list. We've already talked about 3 of them in DJ
Okay.
Ahmet, Honeyjoon, and Black Bag, so we don't have to talk about those again.
Okay.
So, the first honorable mention that I would like to shout out is Hedda. This film is very much not for everybody. I will acknowledge that. You will know in like the first like minute or two if this is going to work for you or not, and it worked for me. The
Oh.
best way that I can describe this film is like intoxicating. I felt like mesmerized by this film. I was sucked in and I didn't care where we went. I was along for the journey and I was so happy to be there. The cinematography is beautiful, the editing is great, the costuming, the set design, like all of it, it's such a vibe and I loved the vibe. So, it's not for everybody, it's not going to work for everybody. I loved this movie and I had a really hard time not putting it in my top 10. Yeah,
Intoxicating is
that's how I felt.
fascinating.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
yeah.
And you're either excited to be intoxicated by this
Mhm.
movie, or you're like, "Oh my gosh, get me out of here." So,
Yeah, you either
to
wanna
each
nope out really hard, but man, this totally worked for me. I loved it.
Alright, alright. Uh, Hit me with some more of your honorable mentions list.
Okay, so the next one that I would like to bring to the table is a very different movie, which is The Secret Agent. This is a another
Another film that I didn't get a chance to watch in theaters before the end of the year. Oh, I'm so glad it's good.
it's not this is another, like, not for everybody film. It's a very slow burn. Um, it's also, like, labeled as a thriller, but I think that kind of, like, sets you up with some maybe incorrect expectations, even though
Mm,
it is thrilling to watch. I wouldn't label it as a thriller. It is very much a slow burn, and I think if you give yourself over to the movie, it's worth it.
mm,
There's a lot here about like corruption and how that affects people's lives. There's also things here about like community care and caring for one another and like building a life and like what does that look like. And so there's a lot here. It's a very intentionally set up story and I was here for the ride. I had a great time with this film. So, if you are
I
able to go see The Secret Agent, I would recommend seeing it, but just know you're not in for a traditional thriller. It is very much a slow burn. Prepare your heart.
okay. Alright. Heart prepared, but gosh, this was high on my watch list for this year, so I'm excited to make it around at some point. Okay,
Mhm.
other things on your list?
Yes. So I would also like to shout out A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night.
Mm.
This is a 2014 film. It is also a vampire film, but also very much like out of the norm. It's filmed in this in black and white, which I think really helps add to like the mood and the mystery of it all. It is the music choice and like the sound editing is really interesting and I think plays a really pivotal role in the film and it is just I don't know, I was hooked and I needed to know what happened. So I loved this film. And it's just such a different way to look at like a vampire film than I
Mm.
think I've seen before. And there's a lot in the vampire genre, but I think that this does some really interesting things that makes it unique and special.
Alright. A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night.
Yes.
Awesome. Did we cover all of them? Is there one more?
There's just one more, very quickly, One Battle After Another. This is just
The thing that people
technically
yeah,
an impressive film. Like what PTA has
yeah.
done here, I think is truly special. And there are just some of the like cinematography choices that I think are absolutely incredible in this film. I also just appreciate seeing like the different performances that are in this that are obviously getting a lot of recognition that I think is great. So it's just it's a wild film, but
Mm.
I'm glad that it's getting some like recognition and all the buzz because it is quite a good film.
It is getting that recognition
It
indeed.
sure
People
is.
are really passionate about this film. So, yeah, yeah, it's handled this difficult subject matter in a really balanced way while also making a very clear point, which I think is like very difficult to do in this day and age. So, good job to one battle after another. Okay. I've got four quick honorable mentions here. One of them we talked about already, City of God. So it's already on your list. We raved about it. That film, I think the sheer editing alone was mind-blowingly incredible to me.
Mhm.
So, City of
Yep.
God, thank you to Andrew for allowing us an excuse to watch
Yes.
City of God this year. I have a few just like these are all just heart, okay? Like
Yes,
there's
please.
specific
Be
things
all
in these
heart.
films
Yes.
that I want to mention and just like take a moment to celebrate. Frankenstein. I really liked this movie. I know a lot of people have some issues with it, but I really loved this film and specifically this type of filmmaking that Del Toro is doing. I think we just don't have enough of, and he's one that has proven himself in the industry, so he gets to make films like this. But the way that the visuals are able to shine, I think, is necessary to for our medium that we love so much. So please, how do we have more things like Frankenstein that are done with such care and attention? Set design, costume design, production design. It makes a difference, and uh, I loved this film so much. Um, Hamnet specifically. I know everyone's celebrating Jessie Buckley's performance, and she is getting all of her flowers. But Paul Mescal haunts me in the best way, and I just need the industry to cast him in more things. Not Gladiator, please. But I
Yeah.
think from a like performances of this year, this one shines so bright to me because
Mm.
he is not doing capital A acting that's big and showy. There's so much that's understated. It reminds me a little bit of Joel Edgerton's performance in Train Dreams as well.
Mm.
There's some
Mhm.
interesting similarities there, but there's something really vulnerable and raw about the way that Paul Mescal brings his whole heart to these performances that I think it's more we need more. So Hamnet is my other thing that I wanted to shout out. And then my last one is one that has a lot of flaws, but I really loved what this film is looking to do. It's highest to lowest. It's Spike Lee, huge Spike fan, and this film doesn't. It's not perfect. It doesn't work from front to back, but the way that it's mixing film and music together to tell this story, I think is so exciting for this medium that has typically kept the boundaries between uh, the filmmaking world and the music world more separate. And so it reminds me a lot of like The Harder They Fall and James Samuel and the way he's bridging these artistic gaps and building those bridges between these mediums. That rap battle sequence that is so emotional because of the story arc that we've gone on with those two characters by the ending, I think was one of the most exciting things that I've seen this year. And I want more of these creative ways to think about what is a film and what is music and why are those boundaries so separate. So Spike also has a lot to say in this movie about the way that art is funded that I think is really interesting. So it's not a perfect film, but gosh, I'm excited to see what he does next. And I want to celebrate like what he's trying to do with Highest to Lowest. So those are my heart needs a moment to celebrate these things before we end the year.
Absolutely. No, those are great. Your heart is always welcome to celebrate these things. Those are great picks, and I love the intentionality of like I want to celebrate this thing in this film because there's even if a film maybe like doesn't work as a
Mhm.
whole like highest to lowest, there's still so much good in there that is sometimes overlooked or dismissed because the entire thing doesn't quite come together, but there's so much skill and artistry and things to say in that film that really shouldn't be overlooked or discarded.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's easy to just like judge a film on its composite, holistic score of how it's all working together. But gosh, if there's something so exciting and interesting in this one dimension, let's pull that thread so that we can weave that into the next thing that will be supported by all of the other filmmaking components together with it. So, uh, yeah, those are honorable mentions this year. Okay. Well, we have celebrated some amazing accomplishments, creators, visionaries within the film industry. But we like to just be silly at the end here and hit us with a roast of the worst film you saw this year. And it's always actually quite interesting to identify why something did not work well and is deemed is chosen for this category at the end of the year. We always say that it's great to celebrate the things that work, but it's actually like also very interesting to see what doesn't work and why and what we should not do ever again. So, what is your pick for the worst film you watched this year that you want to roast for a hot second here? Lovingly roast. And why?
Yeah, I don't know that there's going to be any love in the roast that I am about to do, but I remember earlier this year, uh, this movie came out, and all of our film friends were like, "This is just a steaming pile of trash." There was like every review that I saw of this film was atrocious. And so I just made a little mental note in the back of my head and said, before the end of the year, I need to watch this film because I have to know, like, is it really that bad? This film also has a 6 Metascore, like a single digit Metascore. And so I was curious. When a film is that bad, I have to watch it. I can't stop myself from watching it. And so I watched it and can confirm this is the worst film that I watched the entire year. And that is the 2025 War of the Worlds. This
Oh,
is a steaming pile of trash. This is not good on any level. This film
oh my god.
is trying to do what Searching did really well and have it all be on screen. And
Oh,
it worked so well in Searching. That's such a good film. That method does not work
not working.
for War of the Worlds. This was just ill conceived from the jump. And then the characters, you don't care about any of them. It's trying to make various points about various things, but none of them make sense. It seems to be like endorsing like government intrusion and like spying on all of your devices. It's
Oh,
also, there's a lot of Amazon product placement, and there is
oh,
a surprising twist that I was not ready for, that is Amazon centric. And then the CGI is terrible. Like, there is nothing good about this movie. Um, and you know, the movies that are like so bad, you watch it and it's like
yeah.
almost good. It's not one of those. It's just bad. I was laughing the entire time, just mocking this movie. So this movie is terrible. Our film friends were right. This is awful. And I cannot believe that this got made.
I'm glad I did not spend any 90-minute period of my
No.
year watching this movie. It sounds
Yeah,
like I can
you made
skip
the right choice.
this
I
one.
couldn't help myself. I was like, what does a
Have
6
to find out.
Metascore film look like?
Yep.
It looks like this.
You have to find out
I
somehow.
did. I was too curious. And then once I started, I was like, I'm invested. I have to keep going.
Yeah.
Uh, and it did not get better. It's not a good movie.
Wow. It sounds like the corporate grubby little fingers got all over it too.
Yes.
So
Yep. It is
there's that.
one big propaganda film for Amazon.
All
So
right.
if you would like that, watch War of the Worlds. It's really bad.
War of the Worlds 2025. It ain't
Yes.
it. It ain't
Nope.
it.
It's not.
Confirmed by Sarah
Ugh,
Khaled herself.
very terrible.
All right. Uh, my choice of film that I would like to drag through the mud today is Death of a Unicorn.
Yes, as you should.
Oh, this film makes me so mad because it's not self-aware enough to know that it's bad. So it tries to think that the audience is dumb enough to like think that it has something to say. It does this really cheap like social commentary stuff around like pharmaceutical companies that's like so obvious and been done like 10 million times over at this point. The visuals are terrible. There's supposed to be this heartwarming like father-daughter story that like doesn't hit any of the beats. I actually think this would be really funny to watch with people because it's so bad that you can make fun of it. It's ridiculous. There's unicorns and stuff and billionaires. You can fill in the gaps there. There's so many continuity errors. Like this is actually like sloppily made as well. So I would just like to quote Michael Corleone himself at the end of The Godfather when he says to Carlo, "Don't insult my intelligence, Carlo." And I would like to say that to the death of a unicorn as well. Like we are fully intelligent, full-brained human beings. We don't need death of the unicorn. So you
Mm-hmm.
can't fool us. No, I
Can't do
reject
it.
this.
Can't do it. And like, I found so frustrating about this film, in addition to everything you said, is there's an interesting story in here. There's an interesting movie in here. And they just chose not to make that. And I'm like, what are you doing? And then like the leaps that it makes doesn't make sense. No character choice actually makes sense. I just it's a bad movie. It was
Mm-hmm.
not a good time. But we had a great time talking about it with Matt and Hannah when we reviewed this just terrible experience of a movie. So at least there
Yeah.
was that. We made some new friends because of how bad this movie
It
was.
was like the first time we had Matt and Hannah on our show
Yes.
too. And we're like,
I
well,
felt
I'm
so
so
bad.
glad no one liked this movie because I would have a real struggle trying to be respectful.
Yep.
So we all successfully just ripped it to shreds. It's
Mhm.
very good.
We did. And it was a
We have to
blast.
call it what it is. When it's bad, it's a bad movie. It's a bad movie, and we're gonna tell you
Yep.
why. So, Death of a Unicorn does not respect the audience, and I'm mad about it.
It does not. We demand respect. As we talked about earlier, we want style and substance. Death of a Unicorn has neither. And
No, it doesn't.
we deserve better as moviegoers.
Oh, gotta love ending on a rant, you know? It really gets
It's a
the
good time.
juices pumping.
You know, we always go on a journey in these top 10 episodes because we start on such a high. You know, let's talk about these really, really great films. And then we just end by
In chaos.
roasting some really terrible
Yeah, it's
movies.
very
It's
fun.
a good time.
Yeah. It really gets to the heart of how we started this podcast at the beginning with our very first episode reviewing Christopher Robin live action back in 2018. So really going back to our roots. But if you
Mhm.
have 2 hour, 2 hour and a half experience, go watch Sorry Baby,
Mhm.
12 Angry Men,
Yep.
Sinners,
Sinners.
well,
Yep. Sing
everything else on
Sing.
our top 10 list.
Yeah.
Yes, Sing Sing. Yeah. All right. Well, it's always so fun as we look back on all of the things that we watched in the past year, the things that moved us, made us cry, gave us euphoria, made our hearts grow 3 times bigger, and celebrate those things that are just gems in this medium that we love so much. And it always makes me so excited to think about in a year what will be on our top 10 list of 2026. So, what a way to end the year and look forward to all of the great cinema that we'll get to experience in 2026. And we have so much at our fingertips, both things that will be released in 2026 and also just like gems from the past that we haven't seen yet. There's so much out there that I haven't seen that we need to find Narnia where time stops and go watch a bunch of things and then come back into our real world. But we're excited for the year ahead in 2026.
Yeah, I was honestly a little nervous about 2025, kind of like halfway through the year. I feel like there had been a lot of like mediocre, kind of like middling films that we
Yeah.
watched kind of in the first half of the year. And then as now that we're at the end of the year looking back, I'm like, holy crap, there were so many good films that came out in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really good movie year. I was skeptical at first, but I was proven wrong. And I think both of our lists kind of bear that out of, wow, there was a lot of really good films released in 2025. And it makes me excited to see what 2026 will hold because there was a lot of really creative, really artistic filmmakers that are just at the top of their game with some really important things to say. And I can't wait to see what we see next year and what new opportunities filmmakers will have to create, their passion project that they've been working on for years. Like, what are those things in 2026 that we'll finally be able to watch? I'm very excited.
Me too. It's going to be an exciting year, and we're just so grateful for everyone that listens, supports, watches, messages us on the socials to share their thoughts about movies that we've gotten to review. It's so fun to be a part of this community and to get to do what we love year after year. So yeah, this was our year in review, looking back at 2025 and our top 10 list of films that we watched from the past year. Thank you for listening to today's episode of Movies and Us. Our name sums it up. We're all about movies and the powerful ways we can connect with each other and the world around us. This podcast is about all of us and our shared stories, so everyone is welcome here, and we're so glad you spent time with us today. You can subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you tune to your favorite shows. Drop us a rating and review, letting us know what your top 3 movies, perhaps, of the year have been. You can connect with us on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky at Movies and Us Pod, or email us at moviesanduspod@gmail.com. Check out our website, andusmedia.co, for the latest on Movies and Us and our other podcast, TV and Us. We are part of the Movie Archer podcast network, so you can learn more at moviearcher.com. We'll be back soon with a whole bunch of stuff. We've got an exciting lineup, honestly, coming up, at least from what we know for the next few weeks of content. Really exciting things that are cooking, so we can't wait to share it all with y'all. So we hope you have an amazing week, and we'll talk again with y'all very soon. Thank you for listening to today's episode of Movies and Us. We are part of the Movie Archer podcast network, so check out moviearcher.com to learn more.
Our name sums it up. We're all about movies and the powerful ways we can connect with each other and the world around us. This podcast is about all of us and our shared stories.
You can subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you tune to your favorite shows. Drop us a rating review, letting us know your thoughts about today's episode.
Connect with us on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky at Movies and Us Pod, or email us at moviesanduspod@gmail.com. Check out our website, andusmedia.co, for the latest on Movies and Us and our other podcast, TV and Us.
We hope you have an amazing week, and we can't wait to see y'all very soon.